The preferences screen is something I use actually quite often. It's used to assign taxes, and it's used to assign markups to individual estimates. The markup or the taxes, you may very well work in different locales, and you may have different tax rates in different locales. So whatever estimate you're working on, you need to assign a tax, even if it's no taxes. You need to assign a no tax value to it. So if you have different tax rates you work with, keep all the different tax rates as you work with in the list here, and then assign them to the estimates as you need to. You can have a different tax rate for labor and materials if you like, or the same. Now markups, again, you can have different markups for different estimates. So just assign the markup, click on the markup, and then click assign. That goes to the current estimate shown in the lower left here. You will not be able to print an estimate that does not have taxes or markups assigned to it. Even if you're not including taxes in the estimate, you need to assign a zero tax item, because the estimate will not print. And also be aware, whatever markup or no markup, whatever you include here, is immediately included in the estimate screen, in the price per and the totals. So if I have a total of 22,000, if I go to with a 40% markup, if I have, let's say I put a 100% markup in, immediately the price goes up. So be aware that if you're showing customers the screen, the estimate screen, whatever markup or not, or if there's no markup, whatever is assigned or not assigned is what's going to be visible on the screen, and of course in the printed estimate as well, or the estimates you email to the customer. Going back to taxes, each tax item you need to indicate if you're going to include markup in the tax with this checkbox. And piggybacked, that really is really just for certain Canadian provinces that have taxes on top of taxes. So if it's a multiple tax, like in Canada they have GSTs and PSTs, provincial taxes and general taxes, and you would need to assign a GST, and there's a PST, assign that as well. And if the PST is calculated on top of the GST, then that item would have this checked. So be careful with the checkboxes when you create tax items. Okay, the other thing in the preferences screen is database operations. On the upper right there's a button that says empty database. That will just empty out the database, so don't do that unless you know what you're doing. But it can work in conjunction with a sync with iCloud. Now if you have 2 or 3 or more people using Estimate Master on either Macs or iPads, you can all work off the same database by using the sync with iCloud feature. And the provision is everybody must be logged in on their device or Mac. Everybody must be logged into the same iCloud account. So just to show you how this works, I'm going to empty the database. Then I'm going to sync. In this case, there's nothing to sync, so this brings in the data from the database in the cloud, in the iCloud, Apple iCloud. So it doesn't take long. So Estimate Master, as you use it to create estimates, does not require the internet, does not require internet access, but so you can go somewhere with a laptop and create an estimate and if there's no internet access, no problem. You can create the estimate. But then when you get somewhere where you've got Wi-Fi or whatever it is, use the sync with cloud, and your changes that you've added, let's say you've added an estimate for a customer, that will go into the cloud, and everybody's, when they do a sync, your changes will be propagated to everybody else in your organization. The only proviso is that everybody must have their device or Mac logged into the same iCloud account. There's also a button to back up the database. It backs it up to an email address, which is the address in your My Company screen, and you can restore it from that as well. So that is how that works. There's no extra cost for the iCloud feature.